SS Aragon was a 9,588-ton transatlantic Royal Mail ship that served as a troop ship in the First World War. She was built in Belfast, Ireland in 1905 and was the first of the Royal Mail Steam Packet Company's fleet of A-liners that worked regular routes between Southampton and South American ports, including Buenos Aires. Aragon was built with a pair of conventional quadruple expansion steam engines that drove twin screws that gave her a speed of 15 knots. She had a single large funnel amidship with 12 lifeboats on her boat deck, plus a dinghy and a gig aft. Her first-class dining saloon had a paneled ceiling inlaid with paintings of Christopher Columbus discovering the America. Aragon had 5 cargo holds, some of which were refrigerated to carry meat and fruit from South America. Number 5 hold and the lower levels of number 1 and 2 holds were for frozen cargoes. A steam-powered refrigerating unit used carbonic anhydride as refrigerant, and the holds were insulated with silicate cotton. In 1906, she made 4 voyages to and from South America and netted a total profit of about £45,000. In 1908, she ran aground off the Isle of Wight, but that aside, her civilian service was generally uneventful. By 1913, Aragon was equipped for wireless telegraphy operating on the 300 and 600 meter wavelengths. Her call sign was MBN. In late 1917, Aragon spent 2 weeks at anchor off Marseille before receiving orders in December to sail for Egypt. Aragon was in Alexandria Roads, about 8 or 10 miles outside of the port, awaiting permission to enter, when at about 1100 hours the German submarine UC-34 torpedoed the Aragon, hitting her port side aft and causing extensive damage in her almost empty number 4 hold. Aragon's deck officer of the watch, Lieutenant J.F.A. Thompson, stated that she listed to starboard. The ship's attack and point castle came to the rescue. The Aragon began loading and launching her lifeboats and released her life rafts, but the explosion had smashed one of her lifeboats, and her increasing list prevented her crew from launching some of the remainder. Aragon's crew worked until they were waist deep in the water to launch the boat that they could. Attack drew right alongside Aragon to take survivors aboard as quickly as possible, helped by lines cast between the 2 ships. The troop ship sank rapidly by the stern. About 15 minutes after the torpedo struck the Aragon, her master, Captain Bateman, gave the order from her bridge, "Every man for himself." Those remaining on board rushed to get over her side, and her bow rose out of the sea as soldiers swarmed down her side and into the water. Minutes after being hit, the Aragon went down, and she suffered a second explosion as the cold seawater reached her hot boilers. Some of her boats were left upturned in the water. Many of the survivors from the Aragon's crew were repatriated to England, reaching Southampton on February 10, 1918. Some voyaged all the way by steamship, but the majority traveled overland. The SS Aragon remains a wreck off the Egyptian coast, lying in about 130 feet of water.